You are looking live at the TFDi MD-11 in classic pre-merger, pre-Flying Tigers FedEx purple box livery. How you doing, everybody? CJ here. I am your classic jet sim pilot, and we are getting back in the saddle on the MD-11 one more time again today. Love this airplane, having a great time with it, and thought we'd bring you a flight today. A very classic FedEx route between Oakland, California and Memphis, Tennessee, where the world headquarters are for FedEx. But just look at this retro livery on the MD-11. It's such a beautiful airplane. Love looking at it, love flying it, and looks really good here at Oakland. The scenery by Freaky D, and available on the flightsim.to. Just taking a moment to appreciate it. Well, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So let's climb on board and see if we can't get this show on the road. I did take the liberty of powering up the airplane, got the battery on, got the external power running. We have loaded it via the EFB using the set payload and fuel button, and also sending the flight plan to the FMC. We'll do here in just a second. We'll start aligning the IRSs. That'll start the cabin cargo hold smoke test. We'll get some instrument lights and some flood lighting going. Everything is looking good. All right. Get all situated here. We will set the parking brake. And I think we are ready. Do the overhead test. Check the CVR. Should sit in the green band for a bit. We'll set the cargo tent there. Ignition's all off, wipers off. The fuel dump switches are guarded and closed. Hydraulic pressure test. We'll run it. We'll also do a quick check of the hydraulic system here. Make sure quantities are good. They are. It'll let me know if there's a problem with the test. The electrical system is in auto. The external power's on. I've got the three gen lights, and that is normal. Emergency power is armed. On the air panel, we are in auto. We've got the flow lights, pack flow lights, and I like to make it a little cooler. We'll go ahead and do that. The gas, the fuel panel. We'll do the test 18.8, 10.5, and then you should have 52.4 on the fuel totalizer on the systems display, which we do. Coming across the bottom, we do have the dome light on right now. We'll leave it be. Thunder light is off. Emergency lights are armed. We can run the emergency light test, which should enunciate here that it's okay after it's completed. There it is. No smoking sign goes on. Seatbelt sign remains off for now. Nav lights can come on. Logo light can come on. The rest can stay off for now. We can reset the calls just in case they were activated. Up here we can run the fire test real quick. 4 red up top. We got the master caution, the master warning. We got all 4 warnings on the system displays. And we got the red lights on the fuel
Engine 1,
switches.
fire. Engine 2, fire.
Chip whiz test. We'll do the short test. Bring it down, bring it back up.
Pull up.
We're getting the glide slope light, ground
Pull up.
proximity light. Flight control panel, everything is in auto. Lights are out. Cabin pressure panel, it's in auto. Anti-ice. We'll go ahead and turn on the windshield anti-ice at this time. We'll run the annunciator light test.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
Lights look good.
Overspeed.
And we should get the air test in the center of the systems display. There it is. So now it's running an air test on the pneumatic system. It'll let us know if something's wrong. Go ahead and reset the fuel used and the max pointers on the engines. Looking good. Coming across the top, I like traffic, data, airport. We're in inches of mercury. We're in magnetic on the compass. We are in IAS. We're in heading there. Heading versus track. We're in heading. We're in feet. And we are in vertical speed versus flight path angle. Good oxygen test. Coming across, no unusual flags. The TCAS fail light is normal during alignment. Nothing unusual here. It's reading exactly as it should. We shall cage the standby horizon. That's what I want. I want our release. Our release, and we'll also bring up the Navigraph charts. Oakland to Memphis. All right. Right now, here in Oakland, we're looking at 3016 calm winds. Temperature dew point is 3016, and runway 30. Whoop. 3016. And 3016. All right, FMC. We are set. We've got a good database. We'll go to the flight plan init. We'll start aligning the IRS. We'll put a 0 in for the alternate route. And today we are FedEx 5045. Our cruise altitude today shall be flight level 350. And we're operating Mach 0.83, so we'll use a cost index of 200. Coming out of Oakland, we're going to be using runway 30. And the Hush 2 Sarah. Hush 2 Sarah. Insert that. Right now we're looking at Holbrook arrival into 36 left at Memphis. We can put in Weston. That's fine. That's pretty far out. Star. 36 left. Holbrook 4 off of litter. Insert that. By the way, if you've been flying the MD-11, this latest update now, you do not have to do the recompiling of that layout JSON file, whatever it was that you had to do for Navigraph. I just uploaded the new, what am I trying to say? I updated the nav data, and everything worked just fine. So that's nice. They Navigraph got that straightened. Second flight plan, we'll store this in here. We don't need any radio aids prepped for the departure. It's a completely RNAV departure, which will take us out over the bay and then up and away from the downtown area. Any unusual notes for this departure? Nope, nothing in red. Nothing unusual. We'll do the init B page. And we are looking at 425.7 as a zero fuel weight. Let me just double check that, make sure it loaded correctly. Yep. 425.7. Oh, they're closing our door. They must be done with us. 86,000 pounds of fuel. Taxi fuel will be 1.2. Route reserve we don't need. Alternate fuel is Huntsville, 10.3. And our final reserve, 6.6. That gives us an hour of extra fuel. I must have this set in here. Yeah, the 10% is not quite right, but we're good. We got plenty of fuel. We can go ahead and click these buttons to enter our CGs. Climbing out at 827.310 looks good. Our cruise. We have flight plan at Mach 8.3. And then on our descent, we will be 0.830/330. Excellent. All right, for takeoff. Did I set? I did not. Using chase plane. And I am really enjoying it. We'll get the weather. We'll get the fuel. Our takeoff 510. Yep. We'll run optimum. We got it. Let's calculate. Let's also turn up the... Make it a little bit brighter. All right, we're looking at 4159.71. Oh, let's get I guess we need all the information in first. Flex of 59, flaps 16. Flex of 59. Flaps of 16. Set 16 in here in the dial of flap. $59.16 We have no slope, no headwind, and it is 7 degrees. No slope, no headwind, 7 degrees. Now the temperature, whoops, 7C you need to put in. Temperature is important because when the temperature dew point spread is less than 3 degrees, you might need anti-ice, but that is 6 degrees, so 6 degrees or colder in the MD-11. 41, 59, 71. Yep, we're good. 41, 59, 71. It is agreeing with that. And I think with that, we are ready to go. There we go. All right, so we got the flight plan on the right side. We got takeoff on the left. Let's go ahead and do our 4-star checklist. Aircraft log has been reviewed. Fuel quantity 86,000 pounds is correct. 86,000, and we are released with 86,000. IRSs are aligned. Altimeters 3016 left and center. Status page. Is checked. Takeoff on there. Get rid of that status message. Takeoff warning.
Stabilizer. Stabilizer.
It's good to go. Radar's off, and we are pretty much ready for pushback. Just got to get us set up with. We'll do VATSIM today. We are FedEx 5045. We are MD-11. Let's connect. There's our auto ATC. 0643 will be our squawk. Good symbology. Excellent. I do not remember the seat. 27.2. Get that dialed up. And 22.8 and the backup. And then on VHF2, we will also set up 22.8 so we can listen in case there's somebody not on the proper CTAF frequency. And then we'll set up 21.5 for the cruise. Excellent. We got 2 and 1 up. Need that on data. Don't need any ACARs. I think we are ready for pushback. Bring the beacon on. Tell GSX we're ready. Aux hydraulic pump is on. Takeoff data has been brief. Parking brake is set. Windows are closed. Doors are closed. Beacon's on. And I'll get the ignition here in a moment.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Oh, there you are. Okay. We are just about ready to roll.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted. Locking gear.
Runway 30. So we'll push back nose left when they're ready. We'll just do nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Brakes released. You're cleared to push. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, I am losing it here, folks. That would have been bad. I totally forgot about the APU. That's a good way to end up buying drinks at the layover hotel. Is have that power switch without, and then lose power to the airplane. Luckily, it won't take but a second. You can hear it spooling up. There we go. APU power is on. We can also bring in the bleeds now. We'll turn that off. Disconnect the GPU. Remove the chocks.
Commencing push.
Now we're ready to go.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Today is an even day, so we use ignition B. Packs come off. And we will start with number 3. At max motoring or 20%. And 2, whatever comes first, we will introduce fuel, but not below 15. There's 20. Fuel. Light off. We've got oil pressure. Starters off. Turning 1. This airplane, the start sequence is typically 3, 1, 2. That way, too, it's easier to taxi out on 2 engines. Good oil pressure. Looking for that
Please set parking brakes.
15 or 20, whichever comes for, or max motoring or 20. There's our 20. Fuel. Light off. Brakes are set.
Unlocking gear.
You are cleared to disconnect. We'll see you next time. Watching that N2 for the hung start, watching the EGT for a hot start. We'll go ahead and start number 2 up.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
20%. There's light off. Got oil pressure. Alright, we got 3 good starts. Shut down the APU by turning the air off. I am going to lose most of the flood. And the dome. Maybe a little flood up top. That flaps 16 will be the takeoff. Here come the slats. Flaps are set. After start checklist, anti-ice is off, APU is off, electrical panel is checked. Hydraulics look good. We got 3 pumps running, good quantities, good pressures. Electrical panel, we've got 3 generators running, and a healthy system. APU just totally shut down. That was cool to see. Air system. We've got bleed coming from all 3 engines. Pressures are normal. Fuel quantity. The fuel is balanced. And we've got all the pumps running. Config. We'll do our control check. 3 green. 3 green. 2. 2. 1. And 1. Trim for takeoff is 7.3. We'll set that. Right here. There we go. 7.3 is set. And our after start takeoff check is complete. Before takeoff, the flaps are 16. Spoilers are armed. Flight controls are checked. Trim 007.3. Seatbelts are fastened. V-speeds are checked. EAD we'll check as soon as we're taxiing. Radar is off. Flight control panel, we really should set this up. We are at 250. Our clean speed is 257. So we'll set that in the speed window. We're taking off the runway 30 and we're heading right up to 35,000 feet. We'll arm that as we head out. So we've got the before takeoff check complete. Bring the taxi lights on. Brakes released. We've got the green box. Here we go. Oakland traffic, FedEx 5045 are taxiing out from the FedEx ramp, runway 30, Oakland. It's a fun airplane to taxi. You've got to taxi with care. You get a sense of the weight, of the heft, and I know a lot of people comment about the nose wheel steering, and this airplane is relatively light on the nose wheel. If you do a YouTube search, you see plenty of videos of MD-11 during taxi scrubbing the nose wheel around. It's very easy to do, and in fact, the real world technique is to lead with the rudder, right? Because the rudder pedals control a bit of the nose wheel steering. The range isn't as great as with the tiller, but you lead with the rudder, get it going, and then you come in with the tiller. Now in the sim, it doesn't really work because it'll only take one input, but if you use a joystick for that Z-axis for the nose wheel steering, it doesn't have a lot of range of motion. That technique actually kind of works because your rudder pedals have a lot more range of motion, so it's easier to make fine adjustments. We can tell that temperature dew point spread is close because it is kind of hazy. Yeah, they're calling it 8 miles. And I can sort of see across the bay. Yeah. Turn that screen brightness down a little bit. They did a nice job with this update with the screen brightnesses. They the adjustments weren't quite as fine before. So I love what TFDi has done to upgrade this, to update this product. Prof and nav is armed. It is an RNAV departure, just as a reminder. We have to be above 520, or at or above 520 feet. We make the turn to hush, and then we need above 8,000 by Rebus, which is not typical. and then out over Tam towards Sarah. So pretty straightforward, and I see it in the nav display. So we are golden. For our flight to Memphis today. Be right about 4 hours en route. Ain't nothing but a walk in the park for the mighty Mega Dog. Using VATSIM radar, I don't see any traffic anywhere around us. It's pretty early in the morning. And our little pre-dawn departure, well, we should have a nice sunrise. Once we get up in the air and have a nice morning arrival in the Memphis. Should be a good flight. Oakland traffic, FedEx 5045 will be departing runway 30. Be a right turn out to the north, to the east after departure via the Hush departure. Oakland. Bring all our lights on. Turn off, our runway turn-off lights came on. You can see those. And our landing lights should pop up here. There they are. Final is clear. Lights, camera. Timer starts on his own. The bleeds will close for takeoff on their own. Ready? Take off. Thrust is set. Airspeed's alive. 100. V1. Rotate. Right on up to 15 degrees minimum. Positive rate. Gears up. We are headed to Hush.
Stabilizer motion. Stabilizer motion.
If they turn out to Hush here. Acceleration altitude. Flaps up. And our right turn. Begin our acceleration to 257 knots. I'm going to hold on the slat retraction. Now I feel better about it. Retract the slats.
Stabilizer motion.
Slats are retracted. And away we go. Got a little slow there. Flying a single pilot is challenging sometimes. It is much more difficult in the sim at times than it is in real life. Come on for taxi light. And I'm hand flying this departure at least through Revis. Holding that 256 knots or pretty close to it. I'm 2 knots under, 3 knots under. Let's get that speed back. Our turn outbound of Revis, and through 10,000 feet, landing lights are coming off. And we will accelerate up to our climb speed. Kind of bumpy through that layer. 310 knots. Start to nose up as we approach our speed. And we've made our turn out to the east. We are now climbing at our 310 knots on course. I'm going to go ahead and engage the autopilot. Let's read the after takeoff checklist. Landing gears up, lights are out, flats and slaps are up and retracted, spoilers are disarmed, auto brakes are off. We'll spin the dial of flap back to 15. After takeoff check complete. Off we go. She's a good looking airplane, isn't she? Good looking airplane. The Bay Area, looking down the bay there towards San Jose over here. San Francisco's back in this direction. Clouds are starting to dissipate as we get further away from the cold Pacific waters. That's 1,600 miles to go. 16:16 arrival time, so about 3 hours and 10 minutes or so. We're through 18. 2992. 2992. We'll get the rest of our runway turn-off lights. You can also do just a local light. And we are off like a herd of turtles. Our route of flight today will take us, let's see here, let me show it to you. There's a route of flight south of Salt Lake, between Las Vegas and Salt Lake City, and well south of Denver, over northern New Mexico, over Oklahoma City, and then on into Memphis. You can see there's another flight here that's on their way to Memphis as well. Batsim radar is predicting 3 hours and 40 minutes. There's a FedEx 690 that just spawned in behind us. It'll be following us. Cool. And then another FedEx coming from Anchorage on the network this morning. So there we have it. Not much more to do at this point until we get within range of Memphis. So we will talk to you in about 2.5, 3 hours or so. We'll see you then. Welcome back, everybody. We are approaching our top of descent after a very uneventful and pleasant flight. It's nice to be cruising along at 550 knots along the ground in this amazing aircraft. Just really enjoying it. Let's take a look around a little bit before we have to start down that big old wing. Not a lot of windows in the freighter, but the ones we have we'll take advantage of, you know. I like the schmutz on the windows. Got a few bumps. Let's go ahead and get the seatbelt sign on and prep for our descent. The weather going into Memphis right now, it's we're going to use a real world information Charlie. You still using the 3.6s, so we'll do 3.6 left, and I think we'll park on that west side of the ramp. I got to pull out my parking charts. Information Charlie at 1454Z. Winds out of the northwest, 7 knots, 10 miles visibility and clear. -6 this morning in Memphis. It's really chilly. 3030 is the altimeter. So we'll put that in the standby just to remind us. Simultaneous visual approaches in use. 36 left, 36 right, 27. 36 left, Pappy out of service. It's probably really not in the sim, but we'll remember that. We'll keep that in mind. 36 right, Pappy. 36 right, Cat 2 ILS. Not a big deal. Bird activity, always. There's always a ton of bird activity around Memphis. It sits right along the Mississippi River and a major flyway for migratory birds. And there is weather around in Memphis today, around the Memphis area, around that center. And that's why they're making the mention that hazardous weather information is available from the flight service station. And here is the arrival. I've already checked it against what we're doing here, so we're going to come in over litter. Cross beeve above 16,000 feet and 290 knots. In fact, I'm going to dial in 4,000, which is the bottom of our arrival. So you see we're profile mode to 4,000, and right now we're holding at 3,500. So it will commence the descent here at the top of descent, which is this little magenta arrow down. Heck, let's decrease the range a little bit. Just past right by the Little Rock VOR is litter. And on over Tammy. This row cab here, this is if you're landing 9s or 27s. So if you're landing north or to the east, you actually come over row cab and then get vectors from that point. It's hard to see on this chart, but see from Holbrook. You would go Holbrook to row cab, and then this denotes you're on a vector. So you fly this heading, and then you can expect the vectors. But we're going to stay a little to the left of that. Tammy, Jamea, Sinby, and then skis at 4,000. Oh, I forgot Bowen between 8 and 6. So she will start down, and then we'll do our in-range checklist as we're approaching 18,000 feet. But I'd say we're about ready to start down. So this is definitely an airplane that you want to stay ahead of. You want to kind of think through how you're arriving. Oh, we are landing with 3.6s. I got totally confused here. Three six left. Do I not have it in there? Let's see. Flight plan. Oh no, there's row cab. Jeez. I've been landing on the 1.8s here recently. Yeah, no, we're right. Row cab. And that is a flyover point. That's why it's got the circle around it. And it's denoted by the little triangle there. Then it's the vector. And then we head over to McKee on the ILS. Three six left. Works for me. And McKee at 3,000. So actually, let's put in 3,000. And down we go. Sorry, I did that whole approach briefing for the wrong approach. Memphis is 119.1, I think. Uh, 19.7. Good grief. I was only based here. 19.7. That was a long time ago, though. 19.7. Nothing like tune-in radios, people watching you. There we go. We still got 22.8 up that we're listening to. Yes, we do. No ATC on, so we'll be making calls on the CTAF of 19.7. So we shall monitor the approach. So Beeve is the next one, above 6,000 feet and 290 knots. We're a little high. So I'm going to introduce some speed brakes. The first third of speed brakes. And that should help us catch up. See, our intercept point has moved towards us a little bit. And here comes the vertical deviation indicator working its way up the scale. And then we want to cross Holbrook below flight level 210 and 280 knots. We should start, throttle should start rolling back here shortly for 290 knots. It's trying to keep us right at that 320 knots I had on the descent, which is going to be right up against that that amber mark on the airspeed indicator. While it's sorting that out, I'm going to go pull up my parking chart. Let's see here. Memphis West. 750 to 52. That's what we'll do. Let's go to 751 if it'll allow us. So 750 to 750 spots. 750 to 752 is what we'll plan on. Spent a little bit of time during cruise eavesdropping over on British AvGeek's stream. He's also streaming the MD-11 right now on a flight to Greece. I believe he departed the UK and hung out with them for a little bit. He does just a wonderful job. Just a very easygoing. Easygoing stream. Isn't one for the drama or the hype. You know, there's a lot of really good streamers out there, and I certainly try to emulate the good ones. And frankly, I would put him as one of the ones to emulate. If you haven't checked out his channel, please do so. I highly recommend V1 stream. He's one of the best in the business. Certainly recommend British AvGeek. I enjoy Into the Blue. He's a real world airline pilot and doesn't do a lot of content, but it's very high quality and really good production values. If I could get, you know, within reach of his production values, I would be thrilled. He does really good stuff too. But there's a lot of them. Owls I enjoy. Owls and CST Gaming, or CST Flight Tech now I enjoy. You know, for different reasons. They're not pilots. Well, Owls is now. He's a private pilot. But they just love what they do, and that passion shows through. And I think that's an important thing when it comes to streamers. All right. We are coming up on 18,000 feet. Altimeters 3030. We will dial in. And whoop. ILS 36 left. 521. 521 is our minimums. All right, 290 knots, then 280 over Holbrook, below flight level 210, which we certainly are. And then ROCAB. So altimeters, windshield anti-ice is on, seatbelt sign is on, lights are as required. Status page, I don't anticipate any changes because we've got no lights. In range, checklist complete. Mississippi River. Straight ahead. We'll hang a left at Holbrook. And keep an eye on our performance. We slowed to 280 to cross Holbrook at 280. 10,000 feet is our next restriction. And that's ROCAB. At which time we will slow to 230 knots. Here comes the turn. I like having the, it's an option in the FB. I like having the markers for where my throttle position is. It's not realistic, but in a desktop sim where the throttles don't move along with the auto throttle, it's nice to know. So if I need to come out of auto throttle, I can, just like in the Airbus, you can match and mash. You can match them up to the position. And then when you disconnect the auto throttle, the engines won't spool in some unanticipated direction. Cabin rate and cabin altitude is coming down nicely. That's always a good thing to check. It's always a good idea to go through your systems pages. I didn't at top of your descent. You can also double check to make sure that your landing altitude is set right. It gets it out of the FMC, but it's one of the things to always double check at top as you're reaching top of descent. Data can be bad. It has been known to happen. All right, coming up on 10, 10,000 feet, and we're starting the slowdown to 230 knots. Our slats can come out at any time. I'm going to wait. Our clean min is 213 knots, so actually we can hold on the slats a little bit. Excuse me, sorry about that. We'll plan on a flaps 35 landing because we want to roll to the end. I'm not particularly worried. The runway's longer than 7,000 feet and is not contaminated, right? So the typical flaps 50 condition is less than 7,000 feet of runway or a contaminated runway, which we do not have. All right, we are on the vector. Let's go direct to McKee. There we go. And we want to get down to 3,000 feet. So we'll go to 3,000. We'll push. And we'll intercept the ILS out here at McKee and 3,000 feet. And then CADIS is our final approach fix. Sort of the outer marker. So we'll want to be configured by CADIS. This airplane slows down very well, so we're in no rush. You can see our intercept point of the glide path is prior to McKee, so we are in good shape. We got about 5,000 feet to go, so about 5 minutes. So that's about 30 miles, a little less than 30 miles, and that's pretty much where we're at. So we are doing good. Memphis traffic, FedEx 5045 heavy, we're about 35 southwest. Coming off the Holbrook arrival, we'll be setting up for the ILS 36 left to Memphis. I see somebody just departed Memphis, FedEx 3203, heading to Dallas. We'll go into spot 751 when we get there. In fact, I think I should be able to pre-select it now. GSX, Memphis. 751, the west ramp. 751. Look at that. Love it. All right. We are all set. So we shall plan on we'll land on 36 left. We'll plan on taking it to the end. We'll just let it roll. We're in no rush. Exit probably off here at the end. Mike 9, Mike, November, and then 751 is right. It's right here. So there we go. Whoops. All right. We'll decrease our range once more. I'm going to give us some speed brake. Get down to 3,000 a little bit sooner. The tailwind a little stronger than anticipated, so we're hitting 3,000 right about here. I want to get down a little bit before McKee so we can start slowing up. We'll dial us back to 230 knots. We're 1,000 to go. 1,000 feet a minute for the last 1,000. I was a little late on that. Check. We are receiving the localizer. Memphis is right over there. $230 knots. 213 is our min clean speed. Notice that's the top of the amber. Go ahead and bring the slats out. So to 210. We're at 3,000 feet.
Memphis traffic, good day, FedEx 1433 is pushing back to taxi whiskey.
Memphis traffic, FedEx 5045. We're about to turn about a 10 mile final. 36 left at Memphis. All right, we're slowed nicely. Let's arm the localizer and the glide slope. Slow to 180. Our min speed at slats out is that 171 or so, 172. Airplane's retrimming. Here comes our turn. And we should get loc here in just a second. Glide slope's alive. Go to flaps 15. .162 is our approach speed. Loc, glide slope, landing armed. You're down. Flaps 28. And flaps 35, please. Speed checks. Flaps 35 before landing checklist. Lights are as required. Spoilers armed. Auto brakes min. Landing gear down. 4 green. Flaps 35, 35. Checks. Before landing checklist complete. See if we can not slam one into Memphis. This is the best part of flying the Mega Dog. Love flying the Mega Dog. Coming up on 1,000 feet. We are stable. And we are clear to land. Memphis traffic, FedEx 5045. About a 4 mile final, 36 left, Memphis. Autopilot's away. A little high, correcting. Wind is 300, so a little bit from our left. Still high, correcting.
300. Approaching minimum. 200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Just hold it there. Nothing wrong with that. Reverser's green. I'm going to go to manual braking. And just sit in idle reverse. Let the airplane slow down on its own. And we can apply some brakes. We'll go ahead and make this high speed. Come out of reverse. Excellent. Memphis traffic, FedEx 5045. We're clear at 36 left. Taxiing the west ramp via November. Nicely done, folks. Fire up the APU. Weather radar off. Spoilers are up, flaps are up. I don't see anybody coming down November, so we will go up November. Gosh, this is fun, isn't it? I don't know what it is about the feeling of accomplishment I get when completing a successful mission with this aircraft. Well, with any of the high-fidelity aircraft, but it just, I don't know. MD-11 hits differently. Just hits differently. Coming across the bridge. You never stop on a bridge. Anybody know why? Oops. There we go. You know why you don't stop on a bridge? In fact, every airport I know that has bridges, there are signs that say do not stop the aircraft on the bridge. It's because if you have to do an evacuation and you pop the slides, depending on how wide that bridge is, those slides could pop hanging over the edge of the bridge. And that first step is going to be a doozy. Or at least precariously close to the edge of the bridge, depending on where you're at. So that's why next time you're in a real airplane, if you're at an airport that has a bridge, take a look, and I'll bet you there are signs there warning not to do that. Memphis traffic, FedEx 5045, crossing runway 27 at November. Get our lights on. I don't see anybody on VATSIM radar. I don't see anybody down there. I see some sister ships ready to go. So we are going to turn right on Victor and then left on Victor 3 onto the 700 alley.
The traffic FedEx 1433 taxiing from the ramp via Victor, crossing runway 27 Alpha November to holding point 26 left.
I'm going to go ahead and shut down number 2. Number 2 is shut down. I always forget. You got to put the nose trim at 3. There's an MD-11 pulling away up there. FedEx 51. Did I say 751? No, I forgot which which parking bay I said we were going to. Yep, 751. Must be. think I did. Didn't I? Oh, it didn't. I thought I selected it. Well, anyway. Turn off the taxi light. Set the brake. We got power. We got air. Shut them down. Stand them up. I did not park a bit askew. I parked right on it. Let's request de-aborting. Shut down. After landing, APU lights, stabilizer trim, flats and slaps, auto brakes off. Spoiler retracted. Did I get... Yeah, I did. Oxygen pressure checked. IRSs are, we can do it. IRSs are off. 3, 2, 1. Emergency power is off. Anti-ice is off. Defog is off. Ignition override is off. Emergency lights are off.
FedEx 51, heavy taxi, Charlie Victor, cross runway 9, Charlie.
No smoking sign is off. Seatbelt sign is off. Beacon is off. Start levers are off. Our status page should be good. And there you have it. We cheated death and wooed women once again, folks. The TFDi MD-11 here at Memphis in its natural habitat. And she looks good, doesn't she, folks? All right, got some fun stuff coming up here in the near future. Maybe some unexpected. But, hey, the MD-11 will be back soon enough. I've got some other content featuring the MD-11, so feel free to give it a look. And I really appreciate you joining me today on this. Had a lot of fun. I'm CJ. I am your classic jet sim pilot. Until next time, keep the shiny side up, folks. We'll see ya.